Thanks for joining me today. This is Tim with Digital Survival. My main, Angela, has already done the Tree Grows in New Atlantis storyline, and at the very end of it found some interesting stuff, but that was a long time ago that she started it. So we're going to do it with a new character. This is Tim the Elder that we're working with today. We're going to do it legally and talk about how you do that, even though there's several places where they want to make it illegal. So let's get started. First step is to talk to Kelton.
I really am quite invested in this problem, so if you can be brief. I am not staring, I am analyzing. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me?
That was a heck of a monologue.
Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's
Especially after you're such a jerk.
Biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Alright, so the first thing is to go get the biosensors. Everybody's done this. We'll do it really quick. We've got blue markers for the 4 sensors. The one down there requires traveling to another district, so we'll go over here near the lodge first. The first sensor is just to the left outside the fence at the lodge. These are the rocks. If you're facing the mast building, to the left of the building, right over there is the ramp down to the tram. If you look a little bit past that to the left in those trees is the next sensor we're going to pick up. Right here. So for one of the sensors, we have to talk to this boy. He's outside SSNN, up a level from the commercial district Nat Stop.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found.
So apparently that's homeless scavenger boy. And we're gonna have to go to UC Distribution to get that egg biosensor. So here we are outside UC Distribution right here. It's just down the way from SSNN. Right up there where the white dot is was where we met the boy. I don't even remember his name.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are currently being maintained at 90% or higher. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Why, what is it? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Pleasure doing business with you.
Wonder how much she gave him. So for the last one, we hopped the Nat to the residential district. Yeah, which I've never been to before. That's right here in the tree. And now we need to take him back to Kelton in the Mast district.
I don't mean to be pushy, but I really do need those sensors, and quickly.
I have them right now.
So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment.
So you gotta wait for him to talk to himself some, and then...
Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to Mast immediately with no small amount of satisfaction.
Why are there so many jerks in this town?
Well, from a certain point of view. In an admittedly somewhat selfish manner. The bad news, as it were, is the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
Right, so the short version of his story is tree vibrate bad for city. If you go into more detail with him later, he talks about low frequency sound waves and how they make people nauseous, and if they get too loud, they could make the whole city fall down. So, really, really bad stuff. We have to wait 24 hours before we can talk to him again. You'll see that in your activities. Check on Kelton later. So we're going to take a quick break and check on Kelton later. And we're back.
Huh. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. We don't know when or even if this will stop. While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good.
Sounds like it's time for the tree to come down.
You are not the first to suggest it. However, until I have all the data and a clear picture of what's going on, I am not willing to concede the point. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I suggested nothing of the sort. Although, now that I think about it, I confess, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Anyway, no. I just need his data. I am sure that can be acquired without force, or the threat of it. 90% sure.
So when I tried this with Angela, I tried pulling a gun on the guy, which he didn't even notice. And then I tried hitting him, which caused the cops in the city to shoot at me repeatedly. So force wasn't useful. So Emilio is back near the lodge. You can see the lodge doors over there on the right, and his marker is through these bushes. Very close to where we found the sensor.
Mind your step. Important research happening here. Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings.
My left or your left?
What? You've got to be kidding me. Is he seriously that desperate? No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping him with anything. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups. I'm not helping him with that. Kelton screwed me over good. Probably ruined my chances for advancing in MAST. I'm not going to forgive that, ever. Oh yeah? You think so? Wow, thanks for that. I'll really give it some thought. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in MAST.
So, you're being asked to do something illegal here. Delete data.
Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around.
So what you're saying is nobody's going to remember what's in those files. Nobody's going to remember that they were there, and just deleting them will be enough. You're an idiot.
Wait, really?
So, this is one of the things I hate about this quest. The only way to advance it is to agree to do something illegal. I think we're going to use the first take.
Sorry, that's not on the table. From where I'm standing, kinda seems like it is. It's not that I don't want to do the right thing. Okay, look. Just hear me out, all right?
So we were able
really
to
need this to
persuade
happen.
him to give us the
If you
data
do this
without
for
doing
me,
the illegal
I can make
thing.
it worth your while. You delete that data, I get promoted, I'm pulling in a bigger salary. I can compensate.
Now he's bribing you
I'll
with
throw in
money.
some extra credits for you, okay? A nice little bonus. But first, you need to get into the chief engineer's apartment.
And here's where you get to be completely legal if you want to. If you want to do it for the money, so if you want to get some extra money, you do the persuade and then you do it for the credits and the data. Or you can just say, no.
Fine, fine, you win. Just get out of my sight. And tell Kelton to stuff it.
All right, and with that, you never have to deal with this guy again. Thank heaven. It makes me wonder about the future of New Atlantis when the scientific community is so petty.
I hope you have the data. It's really quite crucial.
Got it right here.
That he is. I'm sorry that you had to put up with him, but this data is vital.
I'm sorry if this was complicated. I'd prefer to remain unaware of the details in the event that it comes up later, particularly in the
Oh my
legal setting.
gosh, you're assuming I had to do something
I suppose
bad.
I'd better verify the data. I'm truly hoping that this is the last piece I need to figure out what we can do.
It's by far not the last piece.
Clearly, I am doing all I can to avoid that. Thank you for your assistance.
All right, now we're back to waiting. So we will check in on Kelton later. And we're back.
Oh, I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need.
Of course.
We're in uncharted territory here. It's inevitable. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself and some nearby portion of the city to destruction. Over 100 years ago, one of the trees from New Atlantis was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. The tree died within a few short years, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch.
That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Okay, so this is the next fun thing.
I'm afraid I can't be two places at once, and I have too much going on here. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kassler, I'm told.
So the short version of his story is, if we don't get a branch from Aquila City, the tree could vibrate itself and a portion of the city to destruction. It could blow up, essentially, which is like an animal doing a mating call until it exploded. He also said
City has what we need.
He also said that he's too busy to go get it himself. So he's too busy to go get the thing that would keep the city from exploding. What a jerk. This is Tim with Digital Survival. Thanks for joining me today for the first part of A Tree Grows in New Atlantis done legally. We actually finished off the Tree Grows in New Atlantis quest and have the next quest in the chain, going to getting the branch from Aquila to do in our second part, as well as the rest. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and or share. It helps me keep doing this thing that I love. Thanks, and see you soon.